Bienvenidos and welcome everyone to the New York State Office of Language Access Listening Tour's second virtual session. I'm Margarita Larios, the Executive Director of the Office of Language Access. Thank you all for joining this listening session. We're grateful that you're taking time to join us to learn more about language access rights in New York State and also to give us your feedback. I want to give special thanks to all of our colleagues at the Office of General Services, especially the Digital and Media Services Center, and other agencies and the language access coordinators at those agencies that are joining us today. We also want to thank our partners in government and the community-based organizations that have been providing feedback and helping us organize these sessions in a way that they're as meaningful and accessible as they can be. Some folks to mention: the Empire Justice Center, Centro de Amigos, Long Island Language Advocates Coalition, and so many more that we would like to acknowledge during this session. Thank you so much for helping us really understand how we could do these sessions and get the feedback that we need to improve and expand these services. And last but not least, I also want to thank the language services providers helping us make this language sessions accessible in multiple languages throughout our state. So big thank you to the interpreters present in this session, the translators that worked on the presentation available in more than 20 languages, and other language service professionals that really make language access possible across New York State. Now, let's get started with our plan for today. During this hour together, we will start with opening remarks from a very special speaker. Then we will introduce the Office of Language Access team and go over the language access law. After, we will focus this session on getting feedback from all of you through a survey and then open comments. We will take language turns for that. We will explain more about that at the end. In the meantime, you can also send us your questions on the chat. We will read them at the end of this session. Now, without further ado, please welcome our special speaker for today's welcoming remarks, someone whose professional and personal experience have reaffirmed her steadfast commitment to language access, Commissioner of the New York State Office of General Services, Jeanette Moy. Please take it away, Commissioner.
Thank you, Director Larios, and welcome everyone. My name is Jeanette Moy, and I'm the Commissioner for the New York State Office of General Services, and I want to thank you for joining us today. We are eager to learn more about your experience using language services when requesting government benefits and services in New York State. With your input, we hope to improve access to state government services. In 2022, Governor Kathy Hochul included in her State of the State agenda the initiative that brings us all here today, and now it's a reality. That initiative proposed to expand and codify New York State's language access policy and to create a statewide language access office to implement it. A year since the New York State Office of Language Access launched, I am proud to stand here before you and reaffirm Governor Hochul's commitment to providing all New Yorkers with improved access to government benefits and services, regardless of their preferred language. The Office of General Services houses and supports the Office of Language Access, and we've accomplished so much in our first year, like the educational materials that you'll see here today, the advertisements about language access in different media, and the work leading to this language access tour. We have done a lot together, but I know that there is a lot more to do. And that is why we are here today with open minds and open hearts. During this listening session, the Office of Language Access team will briefly share key information about your language access rights in New York State. We will then ask you to please answer a few questions to help us get your feedback in an organized way. Afterwards, we will invite you to share your public comments with everyone in the room. Now, before we start, I want to highlight that language access is a cornerstone of increasing access to government programs available to New Yorkers. Moreover, language is also culture. It shapes how we communicate and how we see the world. And striving to embrace and celebrate the different cultures that make New York so unique must also include language justice at its core. And so we all share the vision of a state where no New Yorker has to ask a family member or a friend for help to navigate government services. A New York where people are empowered to ask for language services and fully access the government programs available to them. In our path towards that goal, we need your input. We need you to tell us what is working and what isn't. Now, I want to thank you again for joining us and for being willing to share your thoughts in advance. And I'd like to hand the program back to Executive Director Larios.
Thank you so much for your words, Commissioner, and for getting us started with such an impactful message. We're really, really grateful for your leadership and your commitment to tearing down language barriers in New York State. I will now introduce the team at the Office of Language Access. You're seeing on your screen now a picture of the team. I'm so proud and fortunate to work with deeply committed professionals who show every day their passion to advance language justice. In order of appearance in the picture, you can see from left to right, Alejandro Cintron Carrasco, who is the Deputy Director. His pronouns are he, him, his. Sushita Gupta, who is the Data Analyst. Her pronouns are she, her, hers. And Mirna Turina, who is the Cultural and Language Access Services Coordinator. Her pronouns are she, her, hers. While you see 4 of us here, the Office of Language Access team, there are so many more colleagues behind the language services being provided by New York State government agencies, especially the language access coordinators and our colleagues at the Office of General Services. We will tell you more about that in a minute. Now that you know the Office of Language Access team, let me tell you briefly about how our office came to be. To ensure all New Yorkers can access government services and benefits, no matter how well we communicate in English, Governor Hochul expanded and codified the language access policy for New York State and established the New York State Office of Language Access. This was part of the fiscal year 2023 budget and a fulfilled commitment from Governor Hochul's 2022 State of the State agenda. Our office, housed within the Office of General Services, then launched in October 2022, and is responsible for ensuring that New York State agencies covered under the Executive Law, Section 202-8, or also called the Language Access Law, is implemented efficiently and effectively. The list of 46 agencies complying with that law is available on our website. The Office of Language Access provides critical support, guidance, oversight, and coordination across the New York State executive agencies that I just mentioned. With that overview, I now will hand the presentation over to Alejandro Cintron, who is our Deputy Director and who will also share with you some additional information. At this moment, we also want to give the interpreters a moment to shift with their partners, so you can switch at this moment if you want to do so, interpreters. And now, over to you, Alejandro.
Great. Thank you, Margarita, and hello, everyone. I'll be covering the law and your language access rights in New York State. The language access law has 4 main points we'll review. The first point, New York State agencies must offer free interpretation services to the person receiving services or benefits in their primary language, including American Sign Language. This means interpretation into any language, and interpretation here means converting one language into another in real time, and it can be oral or signed. For number 2, agencies must also translate vital documents related to their services or benefits into the top 12 languages spoken by New Yorkers who don't speak English very well. Agencies may also choose to translate their vital documents into up to 4 more commonly spoken languages in New York, and the top 12 languages most commonly spoken in New York, besides English, are Arabic, Bengali, Chinese, including Mandarin and Cantonese, French, Haitian Creole, Italian, Korean, Polish, Russian, Spanish, Urdu, and Yiddish. And translation here means converting a written document from one language into another, creating another document. For number 3, agencies must choose a language access coordinator who will work with the Office of Language Access to make sure their agency is following the language access law. They work hard to oversee the day-to-day provisions of these services and receive complaints directly. And number 4, agencies must post their language access plan on their agency's website and update it every 2 years. This document outlines the steps an agency is taking to ensure language access is part of the services and programs they offer. Our office publishes a report about these services every year. You can find that on our website. And for the language access complaint form, it is the policy of New York State for covered agencies to provide language access services for public services and programs. If you or someone you know feel that you have not been provided with adequate language access services, including translation or interpretation, please fill out our language access complaint form. Your feedback can really help us improve and expand services, so please don't hesitate to complete it. Visit our website, languageaccess.ny.gov, for more information about the Office of Language Access, the agencies covered under the Language Access Law, and to submit feedback about your experience receiving language access services. Great, and I'll pass it back to Margarita.
Thank you, Alejandro. Now we will go through the community survey, and then we will open it up for anyone with a question or comment. As a reminder, you can put your questions in the chat. We will read them. If not, if you prefer to share your question yourself, we will organize by language so that the interpreters can help us communicate efficiently. For the survey, please take a moment to scan the QR code on the screen. We will also put that link on the chat if you prefer to do that. This survey is available in 26 languages, and please feel free to share this link, after the session with anyone who you think may want to provide feedback. The survey is also available on our website, so you can share it that way as well. We really want to get as many responses as we can so we can better understand where are the opportunities for us to continue to expand and improve language access services across New York State. By filling out these 15 questions together, you will help our team understand what we can improve. So let's get started. Now, this survey will take around 10 minutes. And the first question, as you can see, is please let us know which session you're attending today. That's an easy one. Then, your age range. Please select the option closest to your age range. Then we're asking you, where do you live? This will give us a good sense of where you're getting government services and benefits. Please choose a region where you find your county. Then we're asking you if you spend a lot of time elsewhere, another area than when you live, so that we also know where you're getting services. Now, do you speak English? How well do you speak English? We're asking you here, and you'll see ranging options from my first language to I don't speak it that well. Now, we're moving on to question 6. Now we're asking you, how well do you read and write English? Different from the past ones about how well you speak it. Now, please tell us, have you had any problems getting services or benefits in New York State? If you say yes, you'll see a range of options to give us more details about what you have faced. Have there been language access issues when you've been dealing with environmental matters, financial, government, maybe other that you don't see covered there, so you can definitely type in your specific issue. Then when we move to number 9, please tell us which language access services do you think need to be improved? Is it interpretation? Is it translation? And you see the definitions there, or is it something else? And please tell us. Then if you think interpretation needs to improve, please tell us what it is that you think needs to improve. Is it how timely it is? Is it the quality, or is it something else? And please type in details. Same thing for translation. What needs to be improved in the translation of documents? Moreover, tell us if you learned anything during today's session, please. We'd really like to know if today was an opportunity for you to learn something new about language access rights, because that will help us measure the success of this session. The question 13 is, after today's meeting, do you think you're more likely to use language access services? Let us know. Then question 14, if you want us to keep in touch with you, give us your name and your email address. We won't share this information with anyone. We will keep that private. And if you prefer not to share it, you can also choose that option as well. Then for question number 15, if you have any additional comments, feel free to share it there and we'll make sure to review. And if you want us to reach out to you with the information that you provided and call you with an interpreter, we will do that as well. So please don't be shy in sharing any of that. Once you're done, you can just submit that and then you will be all done. It's as quick as that. Like I said, we're sharing the link with you on the chat. You can find it in our website too, and it will be hugely helpful to all of us in the Office of Language Access and those who are providing services. So if you completed it just now, thank you for completing it. We will now move on to comments, and before we move on to that, thank you for completing again this survey. This concludes the presentation portion of the session. Thank you all for your attention and your feedback. For viewers of the session as a recording, you can find more information about our office, language access rights in New York State, and much more at languageaccess.ny.gov. You can email us any questions at languageaccess@ogs.ny.gov. Thank you for watching.